go to a bookstore nowadays and the self-help section is often the first thing you'll see. But according to an Amazon chart, more men are seeking advice through audiobooks. It found that more than a quarter of the top 50 are self-help books, with all but 2 of this genre having been written by men as well. Well, let's talk now to life coach Michael Serwa about this. I mean, this is quite a striking observation. It seems like women prefer to read ebooks and men prefer to listen to audiobooks, and in particular, self-help books. Why?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that being a man myself, I love what you just said. I love this trend. I think that women have other women to talk about the things like personal development, self-help, more so than men who see that perhaps as a little bit of weakness. Perhaps it's easier for men to seek advice in a book than through conversation with another person.
And why do you think men are seeking advice? What do they need advice for?
Well, I think it's seeking advice is not something gender specific. I think we all want answers, both men and women. It's just women are so much better in communication, I would say, in general. Women can be on the phone with a female friend for hours, whereas it's not quite the case for men, right? So we all want answers. It's just how we source those answers can be different from gender to gender.
I was reading in one paper, an analyst was saying that a lot of this was to do with the Me Too era and the aftermath, and men having a kind of crisis about how they should be behaving and what their role is in the modern world. Do you see this being part of the post-Me Too era?
No, I think what you said there is a bit far-fetched, because Me Too movement has started really in 2017, and personal development and men seeking the answers, myself included, has started many years ago, decades ago already. So, personally, I don't see the connection.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we've got limited time. So if it's not hashtag Me Too, could it just be a fact that men's roles have been redefined in recent years, if not, the last 2? In general, their roles have changed, and that's why they're perhaps seeking some self-help advice.
Oh yeah, if you look at it if we put it like this, then absolutely. I think this whole macho model and men being manly is a thing of the past, and in this new era, men obviously wanting to adjust, seek out help.
It's interesting you say that, though, because one of the books that I noticed was in the top, 15 or so, was Ant Middleton's First Man In, which is the ultimate kind of macho book, if you like. So men are still seeking out the kind of macho roles, even though they're kind of reassessing their own sort of status.
Sure. I think that will never change, right? And I don't think that women would want us to change in that regard. But I think the difference is the macho in 2019 is not the same as macho, let's say, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, and perhaps even 10 years ago.
Do you think there's anything particularly interesting in the fact that they're audiobooks as opposed to books that you might pick up and read? Do you think that there's a sort of privacy or secrecy that men can foster through listening through their headphones whilst they're on the tube or whatever it may be, rather than sitting there with a self-help book for all to see?
No, I don't think it's that, because especially if you read on Kindle device or some sort of electronic device, you can't really tell what people are reading. I think it's another thing that is very specific to the times we live in, is that we just choose, many of us, myself included, we choose to absorb the information via audio device or than just a written word.
Okay, Michael Serwa, I have to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed for your time. We'll have lots more for you after the break here on Sky News. Don't go away.